The early morning sun, a golden ribbon, stretched across the lively city of Rawalpindi. The air vibrated with the joyful chatter of Eid. Among those bustling streets walked a young boy named Bilal, his hand tightly gripping his father's hand.
Are we almost there, Baba?
Almost there, Bilal. Just need to pick up some groceries for Eid.
Suddenly, Bilal's eyes widened as he spotted a flock of fluffy white sheep, grazing peacefully in a stable beside the road, their soft woolly coats catching the golden sunlight.
Baba, look, sheep!
Noticing his son's fascination, Bilal's father stopped by the animals. The shepherd, a man whose face held the stories of countless sunrises in time, greeted them with a voice as warm as freshly baked roti.
Assalamu alaikum, Baijan.
Walaikum assalam. Actually, we were just heading out for groceries. But these sheep...
He glances towards Bilal, who is already standing by the herd, cautiously petting a curious sheep.
Eid celebrations. Looking for a Qurbani animal, perhaps.
Qurbani?
Bilal's eyes darted between the sheep and his father, a flicker of confusion replacing the initial excitement.
Eid is about sacrifice, Bilal. We share our bounty with those less fortunate by offering an animal. Maybe we can find one here.
Bilal wandered through the fluffy flock, his touch brushing against their soft wool. He was drawn to one sheep in particular. Its coat was a perfect shade of snowy white. Bilal felt a strange connection to this sheep.
Baba, this one. We have to take this one.
After a successful negotiation, Bilal's heart thumped with a mixture of joy and a strange sense of anticipation when they took the sheep along. Back home, Bilal named him Dodo, a name that seemed to fit perfectly. The days leading up to Eid were filled with Bilal showering Dodo with affection. He built a little pen for him in the backyard, tied a blue belt with a tinkling bell around his neck, and fed him the fresh grass he could find. They sat together and enjoyed stargazing all night. He even snuck into Dodo's stable one night, falling asleep with his head nestled in the sheep's soft wool. His father watched Bilal's growing attachment with a mix of amusement and concern. One evening, as they sat on the veranda, watching the sun dip below the horizon in a blaze of orange and purple, he spoke gently.
Bilal, I know you love Dodo very much, but remember the reason we brought him home.
But Baba, he's my friend.
Eid is about sharing, Bilal. We are sacrificing Dodo, but the meat will be distributed to those who can't afford it themselves. It's a way to be kind and help others.
He explained the meaning of Eid, how it commemorated a great sacrifice and reminded us to be grateful for our blessings. Eid morning arrived, a symphony of joyous sounds filling the air. After Eid prayers, everyone dressed festively and greeted each other. Bilal, dressed in a brand new white shalwar kameez and shiny black shoes, felt a lump in his throat. He hugged Dodo one last time, feeling the soft wool against his cheek. As the Qurbani ritual took place, his eyes welled up with tears. Later that day, Bilal sadly sat in his room, with Dodo's blue belt in his hands. His father entered, a mischievous glint in his eyes. He held out an envelope. He gave Bilal Eid and told him to come along. Intrigued, Bilal followed his father and went into an area less fortunate, where children with bare feet chased each other through dusty streets. Bilal's heart ached at the sight. His father distributed packets of meat and gifts to a group of overjoyed children. A young boy, his clothes ragged, sat on the pavement clutching a tattered stuffed animal. Bilal gasped. It was a stuffed sheep. As Bilal walked back to his father, a warmth bloomed in his chest. He had shared Dodo's memory, his love, with someone who truly needed it. He understood now in a deeper way the true spirit of Eid: sharing, not just possessions, but love and kindness in all its forms. Festivities were in full swing. The house buzzed with activity as guests arrived for the grand Eid lunch. All kinds of Eid specialities were cooked with love. Grandmother shared sweets and Eid money with children. But Bilal excused himself, drawn by a familiar tinkling sound. He tiptoed out into the backyard, his heart pounding. There, amidst the lush green grass, stood a sight that took his breath away. A fluffy white lamb, no bigger than a dog, stood before him. Its soft wool shimmered in the sunlight, and around its neck hung a familiar blue belt with a jingling bell. It looked up at Bilal, its big, curious eyes mirroring Dodo's. Bilal blinked, unsure if he was dreaming. Then, the lamb let out a gentle baa, the sound echoing the name that escaped Bilal's lips in a joyous whisper.